Yes, the not funnies. I do love the not funnies. They're my favourite jokes. Man, yes, okay. There we go. New joke meta. As soon as you tell a joke, you have to immediately explain exactly why it's funny. There we go. That'll make it better. First you, they told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. I just had to put my foot down. Now, the reason that joke is funny is because a flamingo only has one foot on the ground and one in the air when it is at rest. And so by putting my foot down, I'm no longer pretending to be a flamingo, and that is why the joke's funny. You can laugh now. Hey, Brakai! They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo, and I just had to put my foot down. And I think you'll remember that the reason that is funny is because a flamingo at rest has one foot above the ground. So by putting my foot down, I'm no longer pretending to be a flamingo. 11. What you call a blind peeper? A fish. Ah, I like it. I like it. Why 6 afraid of 7 7 8 9? But I don't understand. Holly, I don't understand. My fake joke was literally ruined. Sorry, you should be. Mercy. Okay, sure. Next 2 resets. You should be sorry. Word 8 sounds like word 8. So the joke is that 6 is afraid of 7 because 7 is a cannibal. And the concept of cannibals is naturally frightening. Understandable. Now I understand your joke and we can be better for it. Those are the pop filter that wouldn't stay on. The very old days. Eating half a fish would just be wasteful. Now please, I don't quite get it. Again, I would require an explanation. Stationary store means, you see, it's only 3 words, but it's funny. Because stationary can mean both non-moving and desktop writing implements. A stationary store is most simply understood as a shop that sells desktop implements, but when you add moves to the end of it, it highlights the double meaning of the word stationary. Thus humour many lulls. Many lulls. Hey, Ard. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. I just had to put my foot down. Now, you see, the reason this is funny is that put your foot down can have multiple meanings. Put your foot down could mean that you have your foot up high somewhere and you need to put it down. Alternatively, put your foot down can mean to remain steadfast on a subject. Now, to pretend to be a flamingo, one must have their foot, one of their feet, up in the air. And so to put their foot down would mean to put that foot down. But it could also mean that you are steadfast in remaining to pretend to be a flamingo. And therefore, the double meaning and the joke, many lulls. Come now. Rubik's. They told me to stop pretending to flamingo. Now, I bet you're asking yourself, Salvner, why is that funny? Now, you see. If you were to put your foot down, you would be doing one of 2 things. You would be putting your foot onto the floor from a higher position, or you would be staying steadfast in your belief of doing something. Now, in this instance, it would be either putting your foot down because you're pretending to be a flamingo, and you're holding your foot in the air, and therefore stopping being a flamingo. Or it would be remaining being a flamingo, because you're steadfast in your desire to remain a flamingo. And there the double meaning and the many lulls. Contains the word add. I copy and pasted it. I think Epic's jokes are invisible. Pretty sure all of Epic's jokes are invisible, and I guess that's the joke. Why can't elephants dance? Because they have 2 left feet. This is funny because 2 left feet is a phrase used by people who can't dance because they're very clumsy. But an elephant is 4-legged, and so literally has 2 left feet. I love it. I love it. Incredible. Oh, I got quartz. I missed another. Give me a bit. Give me a bit. Did I get a copper? I did. First 2 limestone always 1 copper, 1 titanium. With that, you can make yourself a scanner. However, the first one is a copy. You can grab them out of salvage and do that. Hey, Cyprus. Do you love me? I love all of my Twitch viewers equally. They told me. Look, buddy. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo, and I just had to put my foot down. Now, as we have covered before, putting your foot down could mean putting your foot down or staying steadfast in your desire to not put your foot down. And so, in this instance, pretending to be a flamingo could involve having your foot in the air. And so putting your foot down would either be you stop pretending to be a flamingo, or putting your foot down would mean that you're steadfast in not stopping to be a flamingo. And therefore, many lulls. I need 2 boxes to run the go. Come on, Sea Glide Drought. You mean a class on jokes for aliens? Hey, FNAF. Hey, Turtle Person. Where are my sea glides? That is one. Yeah, let's just reset this. That's fine. Hey, Nick Manir. Welcome. I've said hi to Gilly. You're already here. How'd you drive this thing? This is funny because the unexpected double meaning of the tank being both a water-filled fish receptacle and a hard-to-drive water vehicle. Ah, understandable. Rubik's. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo, and I just had to put my foot down. Now, I think you'll recall on my previous explanation that putting your foot down could mean remaining steadfast in your desire to not put your foot down, or to actually put your foot down, which involves taking your foot from a higher location and putting it down, being the direction towards the center of the Earth, in this instance, or the center of gravity in another. Now, pretending to be a flamingo involves, in one of the instances of pretending to be a flamingo, having your foot above the ground. As in, when a flamingo is at rest, they generally have their foot tucked into their wing, with it up in the air. And so, for this joke to be funny, you have to understand that putting your foot down could mean that you have a strong desire not to stop pretending to be a flamingo, or that you are simply putting your foot down, being that your foot is in the air to pretend to be a flamingo, onto the floor, and therefore no longer being a flamingo. And thus, many lulls. First 2 limestone always 1 copper, 1 titanium. With that, commit yourself a scanner. You can leave when stuff's building, like so, and then I'm going to head over to a wreck to grab myself some sea glide fragments, swim on top of the water because it is slightly faster, and go into the wreck because the most likely place a sea glide can spawn. It can spawn anywhere in the safe shallows, just more likely a wreck. This is like an anti-anti joke. Nice try, username. Nice try. Therefore, many lulls is by far the best conclusion. Of course. Run to chat since May 7th. Okay, let me pay attention for a little bit. Look, please. I need 2 boxes to start a run. I know you have a huge stockpile, but give me a little bit of time to actually try a run. What goes in the water by that red? A lobster. I don't understand. Explaining jokes makes them funnier. No, yeah, explaining jokes. So you know, Woodscrap, you know how I like anti-jokes? Huh? Okay, I'll get come on, no, Joe, there's a queue. Joe. I haven't done lurks yet. 1 free tooth, by the way. Oh, there's so many dogs. What is this? Why is there no second sea glide? This is ridiculous. Look, they told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo, and I just had to put my foot down now. If we understand that someone is annoyed at me pretending to be a flamingo, and they've asked me to put my foot down. Now, what could this question mean? This desire, this asking me to put my foot down. Now, if we were to take the example of pretending to be a flamingo and imagine it in the real world, we would picture the flamingo at rest. The flamingo at rest has a foot up in its wing. I don't really know why. That's something I could look up, I suppose. And to do so, as a human, we would simply raise our foot and pretend to be a flamingo. Not the most impressive, flamingo representation, but still reasonable somewhat. Now, the question would be to put my foot down. The solution to stop pretending to be a flamingo would be put my foot down, which involves taking my foot from its position up or high, pretending to be a flamingo with its foot in its wing, and put it on the ground where I am no longer pretending to be a flamingo. I in fact am a human with 2 feet on the ground. You see? Now the alternative is that I no longer wish to listen to my friends. I wish to remain a flamingo. And I will not remove my foot from my wing. I will keep it there. And therefore I am steadfast in my desire to remain a flamingo. And therefore comes the joke. Because either I am putting my foot down and stopping being a flamingo, or I am remaining a flamingo, for I have a strong desire to do so. And therefore, many lols. Now, I've got Joe. Come on, the cue though. Where are my sea glides? This sea glide drought is not amusing, unlike these jokes. Okay, so, Joe, you did redeem it, yeah, okay. And Clovers, no, I don't ever get tired of repeating myself. Thank you, Clovers, for not doing the joke. Okay. Because it's getting long. So, Joe, they told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. Right? Yeah? Well, now we're going to analyze this sentence. We're going to analyze it. Leggy, no, I don't ever get tired of repeating myself. We're going to analyze this sentence. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. So they, in this instance, refers to a group of people. For a group of people that's dissatisfied with my actions of pretending to be a flamingo. They told me. So as they were dissatisfied with my attempt to be a flamingo, they have informed me that they do not desire me to continue being a flamingo, and therefore asked me to desist. That's the word I was looking for. To desist. Now my response is to put my foot down. Now what does this mean? What does put my foot down mean? It means 2 things. It can mean 2 things. One of which is to take my foot from up high because I'm pretending to be a flamingo, and as we all know, flamingos keep their foot in their wing, which is high above the ground. And I am doing this. So to put my foot down would be to take my foot, which is now a wing, as I am pretending to be a flamingo, onto the floor, when now I'm a human, as I no longer have a wing, my foot is on the ground. The alternatively would be that I do not wish to have my wing become a foot. I wish to remain a wing. I wish to remain a flamingo, and therefore I am steadfast in my determination to remain a flamingo. And so I'll be putting my foot down because it is a common phrase for remaining steadfast. The common phrase comes from stamping your foot to assert your position. And therefore, with the confusion between the two, the confusion between me putting my foot down and no longer remaining a flamingo, and me putting my foot down in my desire to remain a flamingo, there, in this confusion, lies the lulls. Okay, so we're on wood scrap. And thank you for the bits, Bios. And thank you for the tip, Vish. Thank you very much for the tip. Unfortunately, I can't read the message because Streamlabs refuses to update their cloud bot. Like, I've asked them, it's like, hey, Streamlabs, are you ever going to let me put the donation message in the chat? And Streamlabs were like, no, we have no plans to do this. May I submit a ticket? No, you may not submit a ticket. All our tickets are internal. Oh, thank you for your time. I can attempt to check it. Submit a pull request. It's all internal code as well. It's all private repos. Ashes, you have to wait. You have to wait. I am looking at this. We've got 3 more to get through. We've got to be a while, okay? Let me just give me some time. I still haven't done wood scraps, I think. Was wood scrap next? Wood scrap was next. And then 2 more. Welcome back to watching the slow mental decline of a man playing a video game. Okay, wood scrap. Wood scrap, wood scrap, wood scrap. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. And I just had to put my foot down. Now you'll notice. That I have not explained why I'm pretending to be a flamingo. And this is purely because in my spare time I like to pretend I am many birds. And flamingo is just one of them. It's just one of them. Now, to pretend to be a flamingo, I take my foot, which is normally on the ground, as many of us would know, and I return it to its rightful place alongside my waist, where it would be as I would pretend to be a flamingo, as if my leg was a wing. You understand, yes? Now, they, referring to my friends who are dissatisfied with my behavior, are asking me to desist being a flamingo. Now, you see, I have two options, and both of which are referred to as put my foot down. Putting my foot down would refer to me taking my wing and putting it on the floor as a human leg. Rather dissatisfied myself, but satisfying my friends. The alternative is to remain steadfast in my desire to be a flamingo and keep my foot as a wing. This would dissatisfy my friends, but satisfy me immensely. And thus, in the confusion between the two options that I am given at this stage, to either remain a flamingo, a majestic pink bird, or to become a normal human, lies the joke, and therefore many lulls. Guys, the queue's so long. Ashes. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo, and I just had to put my foot down. Now you'll notice the intonation when I talk the joke. When I say it, there's intonation there. My way of speaking changes from the two sentences to the other. This right there is to highlight the difference. You see, there's two differences between they told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo and I just had to put my foot down. There's a difference in intonation, right? And this is because of the confusion, the highlighting of the part of the joke that is, in fact, where the joke originates. And that part is they told me to put my foot down. Now, I think you'll understand if you look into the definition of this. Why exactly this is funny. I think you'll understand. We can go deeper, though. I will explain this to you. Now, you see, to put your foot down, in this instance, could be that I wish to remain a flamingo. I wish to remain one, and therefore I'm steadfast in my desire. Or it could mean that I put my foot down, as in I have a foot next to my waist as if it were a pink wing of a flamingo. And I put it down, and so I'm no longer pink-winged. I am too human-feeted. And therefore, as the intonation implies, there is confusion in this part of the joke. And that is where it comes from, the decision of whether to be a flamingo or not to be a flamingo, and therefore many lulls. Echo the dragon. So it's running. I have to expand this. I haven't even, guys. Oh, this was actually a good spawn. Oh, but I wasted time. No, I don't ever get tired of beating myself catter, but at some point I'm gonna get tired of making this joke longer and longer. Okay, there's no rocks, it's fine. Okay, Topo. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. Now, you may be confused right now, Topo. I know that many of you are, about what a flamingo is. What a flamingo is. Now, you see, a flamingo is a bird that often lives in desert areas. It would fly from not quite oases, but patches of water to patches of water. Now, if you were to watch a flamingo from its birth, when it is birth, it is quite a scraggly creature. Some of which even die in the desert in the muddy ground. However, once fully grown, it becomes a very majestic pink bird with very long legs and a very long neck. And in the center is its body with two pink wings aside. And those wings, sometimes it will tuck one of its feet down in a resting position. Correct? Yes? I'm going to head over to Wreck, by the way, and grab ourselves some sea life fragments, most likely placed to find sea lice, but it can be found anywhere in the safe shallows.
From salvage technology and to record alien biological data.
Now, if one were to say be a human being, as many of us are, then how would one appear to be a flamingo with very little preparation? As I do not have a lot of time on my hands, I must make do with what I have. To do so, I would simply take my foot from the ground, pick it up, and put it next to my waist. Now, you'll be asking, Salvner, you look like a fool. You have your foot next to your waist. What is this? Some kind of random stretch that you are doing at this point? No, no, good sir. No, Topo. It is in fact me pretending to have a pink wing at my side, just like the majestic flamingo. And now you're thinking, well, Salvner, you've gone on quite the mighty tangent on this joke. You're talking about flamingos and we were talking about putting your foot down. Yes, I was talking about putting my foot down. Now, you'll understand. Now that I have explained the background to you. The background to you. Do you think a no damage run for Subnautica is possible? It is possible. I've done one on my YouTube. Check it out. Now that I've given you the background in that I take my foot, I put it next to my side, up in the air, like a flamingo wing, and that is how I pretend. Now you will understand that when I say put my foot down, it will mean the first thing you think to is that I will put my foot down, obviously. This is the obvious explanation of putting your foot down, and that is taking your foot from your side, where it is a wing, and putting it on the floor, where it is now a leg. However, there is a second meaning, and if you were to analyze the English as such, you would understand, and if you were to be aware of common nomenclature, you would be aware that to put my foot down is another way of saying that you are adamant in remaining in your position, or in your stance. And therefore, we have the double meaning. We have the meaning of putting my foot down, I no longer wish to be a flamingo, or we have the meaning of remaining steadfast in my desire to be a flamingo, and therefore, in the confusion, therefore lies the lulls. Guys, oh, Kadalukan, no, I don't ever get tired of repeating myself. Welcome, Kadalukan. There's been a lot of people coming around. Hey, call this. Welcome. Hey, slick with it. Let's just greet some more people before I go off on a tangent again. The spawns have not been great. Topo. 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 What's this? What's this I'm seeing on my screen, Topo? What's this? What's this? Did Lyrinux happen yet? Wasn't that Lyrinux? Didn't I just do Lyrinux? Lyrinux, buddy, didn't I just do you? I thought I just... Or was it Topo? They're so long, it's just hard. It's hard to remember because you keep redeeming more. Why'd you start so many games? I'm looking for a specific spawn. That was Topo. Lyrinux. Let me just think for a bit about how I can change this. There's not a lot of words left. Lyrinux. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo, and I just had to put my foot down. Now, Lyrinux, I understand. I understand, Lyrinux. I do. You are confused with the word pretend. What does pretend mean? How could it be possible? Be a flamingo. And what is this word before be a flamingo? Pretend? What is this? Pretend, my dear Lyrinux, pretend. That is when I am acting as one, you see. So if I were to pretend to be a flamingo, I would not be a flamingo. I am still but a human. But I would be pretending, acting Lyrinux. I become an actor. actor, a performer in my own world, becoming a flamingo. For we cannot be a flamingo, we remain what we are, but we can pretend to be as such. And to pretend to be a flamingo, as the actor inside me wishes to be, I will put my foot to the side as a pink flamingo wing. And then, when my dear friends who no longer wish for me to remain in my act as a flamingo, they're foolish people no longer wishing to support my acting career, they request that I stop pretending to be a flamingo, and to do so, I must put my foot down. But, my acting career is solid. I wish to remain at it. I wish to continue. I wish to make myself to Broadway. And to do so, I must remain a flamingo, for I am a character actor. And therefore, I must remain steadfast. I must put my foot down. Put my foot down and remain as a flamingo. And thus, therein lies the confusion of the joke. You see, for to put my foot down, I could either no longer be a flamingo, or to put my foot down, I would remain a flamingo. And therefore lies the lulls. Okay. I may need to stop this now. I hate this. Thanks, I appreciate it. What about purple flamingos? I don't think... Do they exist? Do they exist? Probably... Are you tired of repeating myself? The problem is I'm not repeating myself, Golden Clovers. That's the problem. I'm not repeating myself. I am trying to say different things, and that's hard. Repeating myself's easy. Also, these spawns are garbage. What was the joke in the first place? Biots can just have the joke then. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. I just had to put my foot down. There you go, Biots. Enjoy. Scammed. Got you, Biots. Got you. Is the queue out? Topo. Now we'll go. Okay. So we'll do one thing for Biots, we'll do Joshua, and Topo, you get nothing. Biots. Hey Vega, no, I don't ever get tired of repeating myself. Biots! What is a joke? What is a joke, Biots? What is a joke? Perhaps a surprise? Perhaps you are surprised by the revelation of the sentence I give you, and by your surprisal, is this a word? Perhaps this is funny. And by your surprise, it turns slowly into humor. You are laughing at your surprise, for it is not a scary surprise, but a humorous one. And in this lies a joke, but a joke can be many things. But deep down, the surprise is what you are drawing out. You see the surprise. Now, what is there to be surprised at in my sentence? They asked me to stop pretending to be a flamingo, and I just had to put my foot down. See, on first glance, this joke has no surprise. But surely that is all how all jokes get you. For if the surprise was obvious, where would the joke be? But how do we get to the surprise? Well, you see, the second part of this joke, it has a double meaning, and I understand. I understand you didn't see it at first. I understand. You didn't see it at first, but now I will help you. For you understand that when you were to put your foot down, you take your foot from a higher position, you put it on the floor. You see? You put it on the floor. But to put your foot down would also be to remain steadfast in what you are doing. And therefore the surprise comes in the double meaning of the sentence. And therefore, many lulls. Topo. Before I get to Joshua, Topo, they told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. I just had to put my foot down. You do not get another. You sneaky topo. Sal's been on the booze. I have had some gin and lunch, but not that much. Can I redeem for one? No. This is the last explanation. The last one. Last one, okay? The last one is Joshua. You're lucky, Joshua. Are you still here? If you're not here, you get nothing. Can be pink, orange, or white? Everything in this joke is annoying for you to say except for the many lols. Hey, Elite Pharmacist. It's not annoying. It's all good. Oh, I think Joshua's gone. And thus I am saved. I am saved from having to think up another way to explain this joke. I'll still say it though. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. I had to put my foot down. There you go. And thus we end the period of explanations. Do you know how many theirs I have? I'll do it. Theets. Box sensor, senpai. They told me to stop pretending to be a flamingo. I just had to put my foot down. And that is over. It's done. You still got the joke, obviously. The joke is still done. But we are finished. Oh! Box sensor, senpai. I apologize. I know I don't ever get tired of repeating myself. I gave a free joke. What a fool I am.